Hello and welcome to Kump. The shadow ban is officially over. The shadow ban that never actually was. People have been hitting me up for a lot longer than I should have done nothing for. I should have done something sooner. So people who have been reaching out and I'm just ignoring it, they probably don't know how to use hyperlinks. They don't know how to use the web and click links. I have a link. When I type your name in the Patreon, sir, it doesn't come up. And I would go, you look like you've been shadow banned. And I would say to myself, this man is a conspiracy theorist, a ne'er-do-well perhaps, but or doesn't know how to use hypertext linking, which was developed probably at Berkeley.
Those sound like the two.
Some scumbag who doesn't like Berkeley, California, because he thinks it's all liberals.
It does sound like the two types of people who listen to the show.
Yeah, well, look, you can understand my, rush to judgment, but I have egg on my face, egg that my father wouldn't let me cook, famously. That there was an issue with Patreon. You type my name into Patreon, and nothing would come up. We started looking into this, and it turns out that they have a feature where I don't know if someone listened to my show at one point or if they just assumed based on my very graphically sexual logo that Kump is an adult show, which, it's not for little babies. I don't pitch this show a little, this isn't Monsanto. Is it Monsanto? It's not a Montessori school module. I'm not going to teach your kids how to fucking count, your leftover Oxycontins when they find your corpse, your bloated corpse, and your little baby finds you. And here, this is a good opportunity to figure out numbers and how to add them together. What we got? We got 16 pills. Here's what you do, kids. You count 16. You put them in an envelope. You put here's my name. Here's a P.O. box they use just for such learning opportunities, and you mail me all the Adderall, all the pills, this is Montessori school. That's what they thought was happening. And I'm teaching children how, and then I shouldn't be. And they're like, someone reasonably said, you should not be teaching children. You're a scourge. I mean, I don't know if I'm a scourge, but I could see someone thinking I'm a scourge.
Well, it seems that what you're describing is a mail-in contest where children send you pills.
I mean, it's a contest?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what the contest was. I was just taking it. I mean,
it's reminiscent of like one of those, like, you mail in, you get a little coupon and you mail it in.
Do I have to give them a coupon?
No, but it seems like they just have their parents' pills and they mail them to you.
Only if they find them dead. So whatever. We got them to lift the adult designation for Kump. I mean, they must have. Was there did I upload a stray episode where I was just masturbating furiously, just going, "This is sex. This is how sex works, boys. You better listen up. I'm gonna teach you how to get women to come in down their legs like a puddle draining itself." That's what. And then this person had to hear it, and like, this is an adult show.
You were probably trying to indicate that, like, hey, this isn't for the family. This isn't a family show. It's
by what? How did I indicate that?
Like, you probably, when you clicked adult, you probably didn't.
I didn't click adult. They clicked adult.
You probably clicked adult.
I didn't click adult.
But you probably thought that it meant.
I didn't click adult. They clicked adult. They that's something they do. You didn't go on.
I don't think clicking is something they do.
They admitted it.
Really?
Yeah, they said we assumed you were an adult thing. Sorry, Kump. Sounds like
really?
Hump. Probably because it sounds like Hump. It sounds like she just got, like, this person was just watching, listen to my Patreon, hearing me talking about dead mice in my shoes or something.
Wait, so what did they think? Do they have the creators on there who are porn people?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Just have Dolly Madison or whatever their names are.
Dolly Madison, as in like the First Lady of the United States?
I mean, you can come up with a porn name if you want, so, fine. And then it's just like, hey, I'm Dolly Madison. If you want my extreme adult content, only here on Patreon. I'm banned from OnlyFans because I have tax evasion. So, booyah. So we're back. We're back on Patreon. And I guess because Kump sounds like Hump, maybe. What do you think of that?
I don't think that's...
You don't think my name is sexual? You have sex with me. Terrible.
Yeah, but I didn't make that decision because of your last name.
I thought it was part of it. I thought it helped.
I don't like go around going like, oh, this guy's last name is Stang. That sounds like bang. I should probably fuck him.
Well, Stain, but also Stain also sounds like shit stain. So I mean, but if a guy's name was Plum and it sounds like cum, yeah, I could work. I mean, I'm not saying I would definitely fuck him, but
your views of how the sexual marketplace works are they're fascinating.
I'm doing well. I got you. I'm doing well. I'm cashed in. I'm down on Bitcoin. Well, no, I'm down on what did I buy? AMC.
You should really start.
I'm down on AMC, but I'm up on sex and cum.
You should really start like a pickup artist class.
Yeah, sure. Who wants to sign up for my? Comment if you want to sign up for the pickup artist class taught by Ray Kump.
Go to a courtroom. Legally change your name to something that vaguely sounds like it could be sexual.
Should I do it? You be a woman. I'm gonna be a pickup artist.
Okay.
Here's how you treat a woman in the sexual battlefield, as they call it, as you just did. Hey,
marketplace, sure.
Marketplace, battlefield.
I
mean, that's how I view
battlefield.
This is Venus and Mars here.
Yeah, here's how you treat a woman in the sexual Holocaust.
Hey, you like bread?
I do like bread.
Oh, I like cum. So what are we doing here? See, that's rule one. You take them out of their. I was gonna say I don't know how they do. Like, it's actually more impressive now because I was gonna say rule one, take them out of their comfort zone, but that sounds so rapey. I mean, they do sound rapey, but they make it sound so much less rapey than I was about to.
Yeah.
Make them feel uncomfortable. Rule one. Rule two, confuse them with lies. Rule three, offer them money. Rule four,
make them doubt their sanity.
Yeah. Rule five, vaguely threaten their children and or loved ones. Hey, you got any kids?
I do actually have a couple of kids.
You ever worry that they're gonna be dead when you come home?
Oh, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, you should, because that can happen to kids. Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
So are you saying that you're strong and you could protect my children?
I think that, I think it'd be terrible if something happened to your children, and perhaps you should have someone like me around to make sure something like that might not happen.
Okay.
So what do you think? What do you think? Want to have sex?
It's better
than sex?
It's better than the bread thing.
Want to have sex? I mean, I'm basically doing a mafia pitch, though.
Right. It's kind of you're offering me protection.
Right.
Yeah.
Sexual protection. Money.
Right. But yeah, it's protection from you.
All right. Wait. It's over. Hey, how you doing? You enjoying this Holiday Inn bar?
Yeah, I love Holiday Inn bars.
Yeah, it's great. You have kids at home?
I do, actually. I have two little ones. Yeah.
You ever worry that someone you pick up at a Holiday Inn bar would do something to hurt your children?
Oh, my. I mean, I worry about my children getting
hurt. You should be more worried about men you don't pick up at a Holiday Inn bar. That's why you should pick them up. I happen to be a pickup artist. I happen to be a pickup. Pick them up. Pick them up. Because if you don't pick them up, they might do something. They might follow you home. So, I wouldn't do that. But that's just a tip I give women when I'm walking around Holiday Inn bars. That, hear that?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a sexual signal.
What is that? Is that supposed to send neurons?
It kind of sounds like humping, sort of.
Are you a bug? Are you a giant bug?
No, like bugs fuck. So yeah, this is what I mean. I could sell this. I could sell this for $69.99, and I would for that number. 69. That never gets old. What is it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah. What do you think? Rule 17. Use a fake name.
Yeah.
Rule 18.
That I'm fine with.
Tell me your real name and say, you fucked up. You found out my real name. Now things can get really dicey. I mean,
it's great. I think it's good that it always comes around to threatening the woman.
Well, I can't satirize pickup artists and not call out the fact that it's all I mean, as a normal person, it's like, how do you have, what are the tips? I don't know. Be a person.
Yeah.
But like, here are some tips. Teach women to be the submissive dog that they are. No, buy my stock tips and women tips.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your only genuine tips to men ever have been, that I've heard, have been like, be a person.
Right.
Get a skill.
Yeah, get a skill.
Which I think that's a good one, right? Like getting a skill. And
like learning how to, keep your dick hard on the skill. That's the prerequisite.
Because it's like, I think
your skills got to be like woodworking or metal shaving. That's a thing. Don't act like it's not a thing. Shaving metal's a thing.
Yeah.
Sheet metal. Making sheet metal angels. Imagine Imagine if I was a man who came to you in a bar. We're in a bar.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing? You enjoying this holiday in bar? I'm a confident guy. What's up?
Yeah, I am. I'm getting really drunk.
You're getting so drunk, but you don't get too drunk because, you got to be your own person.
Not drunk enough to not
be as drunk as you want to be.
Not drunk enough to not
be as drunk as you want to be, but safe. Be safe. And you know what I do?
That's great.
You know what I do for a living?
What?
I work in an Amazon warehouse. It's terrible, but you know how I keep myself sane?
How?
This warehouse is terrible. I piss my pants all day because I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom.
Wow, that's horrible.
I once met Jeff Bezos, and he threw like lemonade in my eye. It was like lemon juice.
What a terrible man.
Yeah, it's terrible. We're so rich. Anyway, I shave metal. I make metal shaved angels in my spare time.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow, I'd love to see one.
I'm showing you one that. This is fuck. What you gonna judge my angels? You gonna judge you think what? I'm gonna let some drunk girl? I'm gonna let some. I've spent 3 years learning how to do this. I'm gonna let some drunk girl tell me if my shaved angels are nice or not.
I just think it's really impressive. I'd like to see. I've never seen an angel made out of metal.
You want to mock me? You want to put me? You want to throw me down a well that I can't fit into? And all the men you do fuck will come over and just spit on me and hit me with hammers while they fuck you over and they come all over. The cum drips down you and onto me and down the well. Fuck this. Anyway. What are we talking about?
I have no idea.
How do we get onto this?
I don't know.
So you can sign up for my Patreon now.
Yeah.
Just go up. The links work now. There's an extra episode every week. It's fantastic. People are loving it. It's a family. You're literally, I'm not going to, if you are, if you're in the hospital, maybe, look, if you're on the Patreon and you're in the hospital, we'll see. I'm not going to say no off the bat. I'm also not going to say yes. If you're dying in the hospital, not in the age of COVID. But later on, if you're dying in the hospital, I might visit you.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? A lot of reasons, but
yeah, you'll visit a patron.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's not make the verbal contract here. But it's possible. Anyway, you have a much better chance of winding up in my message request on Twitter, telling me that noise. What was that noise?
I think that was you.
Is that my phone?
I think so.
It's telling me about Serena versus Osaka.
Ooh. I
should turn this down because I'm a tennis boy. What are we talking about? Patreon. Get on it if you want. Just like pick up stuff.
Exactly.
Well, throw me a topic.
Day.
Throw me a fake topic.
I was in the middle of doing
transitions.
Just that. I just
Rush Limbaugh is dead.
In the process of saying just this.
Rush Limbaugh is dead.
I was going to set it up a little bit.
Well, what do you need? You remember how Rush Limbaugh called that woman a whore? Well, now he's dead.
Now he's dead.
Rush Limbaugh, the famous man who revolutionized broadcasting. For the better. I'm not to say. If I was, I'd say no. But is he the worst man alive? Probably not.
No, I think there are worse people.
He's
who
not.
have lived.
Look, I don't have a problem with his political
Kim
views.
Jong-un.
Who knows? That guy might be all right. He's fine. Look, what we know about Kim? Dennis Rodman likes him. With the Kim Jong, Un, right?
Yeah.
Who's the current one? Look, I have no problem with Rush's politics. I don't agree with him probably, but he's just a mean guy, right? Just likes to call women whores. I don't know. I haven't listened to Rush a lot, but I do remember that, with the Obamacare and the woman wanted birth control. He goes, "What is she, some whore?" Right? Is that what he said?
Yeah, with Sandra Fluke.
Or she a prostitute? Because we're paying for her to have sex.
Right.
Was he correct? You're a woman. Was he correct?
I don't think that's a great read on.
But we are paying for you to have sex in a way if you use that, right?
Well, there's other things involved in birth control, though. Like some women use it as a form of medication for ovarian cysts.
So we're paying for you not to have cysts,
right? Which automatically is more reasonable.
It seems like he had 8-point that wasn't totally wrong.
But I don't see how you could interpret that as prostitution.
I would love to see the cyst of a woman who's beautiful.
Would you want to see it shrinking?
They're actually disgusting. The worst thing I ever saw was an ovarian cyst. But at the morgue, it was a dead woman. She's very elderly. She had ovarian cancer. And then they cut open the cyst.
God bless her.
Whatever. I don't know what she did with her life. I have nothing to say one way or the other. It's just, different. It's a woman who had a cyst. Maybe she shot her kids in the face and then got out of jail and then just drank herself to death and then cancer got her. And now you want God to bless her. You want God to just play for toesy woesies. Ooh, you're like a little baby in heaven now. And she murdered her children with a gun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she did, but I don't know. That's why I never blessed with God. You
want a person to be damned forever because they shot their kids with a gun?
It's
an impulsive decision. You shouldn't do it.
What she planned it? You don't know she planned it. Maybe she just thought these kids are look at these kids. They're watching these terrible shows. They're watching NCIS. Doesn't even make sense. Why is there so much sex crimes in the Navy? And she shoots her kids. Maybe she wanted Joe Montana to take her kids. Or get Joe Montana's kids. I don't know. But Joe Montana. Right?
Yeah, Joe Montana.
Yeah, he's a football boy.
He's the granddaddy supreme.
Yeah. I'm just saying, the worst thing I ever saw in the world was this cyst that was cut out of a woman. They cut it open. It was pus. It was hair. There was no teeth, but it was like one of those things with the teeth in it.
Oh, yeah. Those things get, strange looking.
Yeah, it was gross. So point is, I think I could be the next Rush Limbaugh. Look, he may have made a lot of money. Don't look at me like that. I'm trying to make us some money so we can be financially stable and have babies and everything.
I'm the one who's always beseeching you to go alt-right so that we can make some money around here.
Okay, so we're on the same page. I just don't like the aesthetics or the politics of the alt-right. Rush Limbaugh is an old school, look, dames are whores, but I don't, alt. What's this alt thing? Am I gay? Am I a gay Limbaugh? I'm not a gay Limbaugh. He probably thought alt-right was gay right. He's that old school. He didn't know what it was. So, how does this work? Who do I audition in front of? I didn't get the Larry King job when he died.
No.
Look, this show will keep going until I take the bones of an old broadcaster and wear them as my own. I call women whores. I don't want to. I love women, but also I love money. So here we go. Give me. You're on my show. You lead the conversation, and I'll just jump in like Rush. Okay.
Everyone, thank you for being here.
You're the host of the show.
Diane
You're on
Sawyer.
my show. Hi, we got this is Rush Kump. Hello, we got Lucie Steiner on the show. They're just going to talk. What are you here to talk about?
Well, Rush, I kind of want to talk to you about your kind of attitude towards Kamala Harris. Because I think there are a lot of things that are problematic about it.
Kamala Harris, you mean?
Kamala Harris.
I call her Kamala because of no reason.
No reason?
No reason.
There isn't a little bit part of you that wants to mispronounce her name?
No, that's the way the name should. I never heard the name before, but it should sound like that. See? And it's not that racist or anything. What is it? See, this is a great example of why I could be Rush. Because, what is it? Is it racist? You assume so. But really, what am I saying? I'm just mispronouncing a name. It seems bad, but you could stretch that for a whole hour of the show.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you could be like, so because I mispronounced it. Yeah, it's all about distracting people.
Yeah. What is this with the names and they have syllables in them? What happened to names that didn't have syllables? I like names like Bruce and Terrence and Bruce, they don't have syllables. You say they do, I disagree. I believe in an America where people live in Valium pills, drink Valium pills. 1950s. Love the 1950s. Norman Rockwell, he was a great guy. Saturday Evening Post. How much longer do we have? How much longer to broadcast? What do we got? We got Barack Obama.
Rush Kump.
Yes.
How do you feel about Joe Biden? He's kind of trying to reenact some of Obama's legacies.
Joe Biden reminds me of a man named Rip Van Winkle. What a sleepy man. What a Joe. Remember Joe Cool, Joe Camel? He's like Joe Camel, playing with cigarettes, giving cigarettes to children. Now what's so virtuous about a man with cigarettes? But a camel. He's a camel man. I gotta admit, I don't have a ton of source material.
I feel like this is actually working pretty well. Yeah. It's definitely a better fit than the Larry King thing.
Yeah. Give me something. Give me something that I don't have to be racist to do.
Okay. I mean, it's hard to find something. I mean, you shouldn't necessarily have to be racist.
No, but to take Rush's angle. I mean, no, I don't have to be racist to do anything.
No,
I'm saying as Rush Kump.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's hard to find something. I mean, look. Okay, how about this?
The stimulus checks.
Stimulus checks.
Prompt me with the stimulus checks.
So, Rush, a lot of people think that the American people deserve, $2,000, at the very least, a $2,000 stimulus check. Some people think they deserve that monthly.
What are you going to do with $2,000 that you can't do with $1,400? What can you buy with a $600 difference? Perhaps crack cocaine. Perhaps welfare problem.
Wow. Wow, so you're actually saying that you'd be in favor of a $1,400 check? I
am not. I believe you should have bootstraps tied on, and you should suck them off. Suck them off like Batman sucking off a criminal element, which I mentioned on the Patreon this week.
No, you mentioned something that you called welfare problem. What is that?
See, the thing, let's establish it. Rush was not a podcast, so you couldn't just go back and listen to Rush and source him. I mean, maybe you could. Is he on YouTube? I have no idea.
I don't know.
But I assume it was, but yeah, it's just.
No, you had to catch him. He came on the air on the radio.
Right. So, it was a different kind of thing. You have to have a net ready. And sometimes people had nets ready. But usually they didn't. So.
Oh, in my imagination, this is part of the same interview. This is all part of the same. This is all part. This is all part of the same thing.
Me talking to you now?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Rush. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the improv fell apart.
I don't know.
So we got $1,400. What do you need that for? Food? Why can't you eat canned food like a sailor man in the 50s? A Popeye. Popeye would eat spinach. Why can't you eat spinach? Why can't you eat some nice, delicious canned spinach? You too good for that? Your kids can't get fat enough on that? Maybe you could eat a canned ham. Remember, they used to have canned hams? What happened to canned hams? What happened in this country where we don't have canned hams anymore? And perhaps a pineapple I get out of a jar. I mean, it's just it's a better time he's alluding to. It never sounded, for someone who loves the past so much, he never seemed to be painting a nice picture. Right. Remember when you used to have to shoot the local drifter? Back in the 1950s, when you shot the drifter. Nice. It was a great time. Remember how rape was legal in the 50s, and your wife would be not in a way where you liked it, where your wife was raped and you had to deal with it.
And the kids, they just knew to stay away from the pedophile.
Yeah,
they just had to stay away from him.
The kids stayed away from my friend Jack, who I used to talk about rape with. But now you're not allowed to do that because the 50s are over. God damn. This making sense?
Yes. No, I think you're doing great. I mean, if there is
Debate
a job.
Debate me.
Mr. Kump, Limbaugh.
Yeah, Rush Kump.
Rush Kump. I don't understand how you can look at the state of America today and actually think that people can get by on what you're talking about. I mean, people have lost jobs. People have lost access to health care through those jobs. they've lost so much financially.
I used to be a candy striper. What happened to being a candy striper? What happened to these men who would come around and heal your wounds while dressed in a candy striper's outfit? And they would put salves on your leg. They put salves and bombs when you had polio as a child. What happened to that?
You were a candy striper?
I was treated by a candy striper, and I was a candy striper. I was treated for my open wounds on my legs, open sores. And these men would come around and take pictures of me while putting various salves on my legs.
Oh.
In the 1950s, the wonderful 1950s.
I didn't know that they had male candy stripers.
They fucked me in the ass in the 1950s. Oh, I don't even know where to start attacking the guy. It just seems that the guy really liked. He had his book. I remember I don't know if my dad read the book, but my dad had the book on his disused exercise bike in his bedroom. It was called "The Way Things Ought to Be" by Rush Limbaugh. It was I should read it. I think what's his name, Al Franken, back before he became a senator and then was disgraced for grabbing an unconscious woman's tits, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're a bipartisan podcast here. the guy grabbed tit of an unconscious woman. It's not right.
Yeah, he's being a little creep.
Being a creepy, rapey ghoul.
Yeah.
I liked Al Franken before. Didn't love him. I mean, what was it? Stewie's family? Stewie Saving the Family, whatever that movie was.
Stymie Stewart?
Stuart Stymie?
Yeah.
What else? Stuart Smiley.
Stuart Smalley.
That was a different movie, I think. Or maybe that was it. Was Stuart Saves the World? What is this? There's Al Franken, this rapist Al Franken, coming after me, calling me some kind of blowhard because I just want to live the day when Iranian hostages wouldn't take you and make you do sex with them in the 1970s. That was terrible. But in the 1950s, we were friends of Iran. They wouldn't molest us. They wouldn't make me suck their big dicks and just eat their luscious pricks.
Well, Mr. Rush Kump, I think you have a point there. I mean, I think there is a lot of hypocrisy on both sides about the whole, sexual abuse thing.
Sure.
But, don't you think that there's also that hypocrisy on the Republican side where, they want to stigmatize Democrats who do these things, but they don't necessarily own up to it when Donald Trump does it or when somebody on their side.
Remember when Shirley Temple used to dance with with Jack Lemmon, and they would dance together? And why can't this Medicaid? Why can't we use that in the Medicaid? Why can't Shirley Temple just dance and then Joe DiMaggio comes around and you don't know if he's gonna do something untoward towards a child, but then Marilyn Monroe is there, so why would he touch a child when he has Marilyn Monroe? So you feel better, and that's what the 50s were. Yeah, I think that was.
I think. Look, I don't know if what.
Do I get my Presidential Medal of Freedom now?
Now that he's dead, I don't know. Are they gonna give the job to someone else?
They should give it to me.
They should give it to you.
I mean, this is like I could. There should be a brain trust that I could actually ride this wave back into the jar, and no one else could. I could put it because I could sound hateful, but not actually be hateful. Just what happened to UFOs being part of movies where a cowboy would come around and he would just have his dancing and then he'd fight a Native American. I mean, I need to drink. Help me. Yeah. Just talk. No,
oh,
talk.
Sorry. I thought maybe when you start coughing and say, help me, I think, well, you might be dying. I should probably help you.
No, help the show.
But you were like, no, help the broadcast.
Yeah, Rush would never let someone pat him on the leg while he was dying. I could save this country if they would just let me. But they won't because they want it to burn. They want to sell it to China for parts. Remember when China would just serve you food? Now they are a country of people. Oh. What is he? What you think he was just confused with the whole Uyghur Muslim thing?
Do I think that?
I think it went around when the rest started coming out, but a lot of conservatives. But and neocons, but I don't know how he'd react. You know, they're putting Uyghur Muslims into camps. What is that? Remember when we used to put Muslims into camps? What is that? What happened in the 1950s? I mean, for all I know, he never uttered that phrase. Right.
What happened in the 1950s?
Rush fans like, what are you talking about? Right. What happened in the 1960s? And eventually he'd like move up to the 60s. What happened in the 1960s when I used to drink marmalade popsicles?
He moved up. It was like The Simpsons. Like their storyline always moved up a generation or so.
Remember when I used to do the Bat-Tusi?
Well, you know, speaking of...
Do I have a job?
Look, if it was up to me, you would replace every dead broadcaster.
Thank you.
But I do think you're uniquely qualified to take over for Rush Limbaugh.
I know. I mean, I don't even know conservatism is.
I think a world... And also, I think, for what it's worth, I think a world where you were Rush Limbaugh would be a gentler world.
Yeah, it would just be like...
Because you would be a more moral version of
How would I handle Sandra Fluke?
Yeah. So let's say, like, you know, it's like she's doing...
Look at this Sandra Fluke. She's talking about taking birth control. Remember when women just had babies and I made them have in a cage in the basement in the 1950s? I mean, it's like, look, I mean, it's not great, but I'm not calling her a prostitute.
Yeah, you're not even passing moral judgment on it. You're just saying, remember when this used to happen? Yeah. You're just setting up a contrast,
right? This is what they need. I'm like a Disney Plus show. They should make a Disney Plus show of me. I'm like all these guys you don't like, but I'm just a better version of them because I'm just saying nothing. Like I'm like Putin. I'm like the guy who tells Putin to do whatever. The whole thing in the Adam Curtis doc.
Yeah.
Not the 8-hour one that I watched this week, which right before I put a bullet in my head. But no, it's a good doc. It's just, it's a little bleak, even for me.
It's his way of combining, good. He has good music choices and footage choices that just make you want to kill yourself.
What's it called? I can't get you out of my head. It's referring to a bullet.
Yeah.
It's fine. I love it. I've watched all his movies. They're great. They're worth watching. But, do I take them all at face value? They're a little... they're a little. Let's grease the wheels here. Let's stretch this. Oh, this random fact that you never heard of is actually the linchpin of everything.
Right.
Every time, but whatever. This is about me as Rush Kump, not as Adam Curtis.
Yeah.
And my point is, I don't remember. Oh, but hypernormalization. The last one they talk about how Putin. There's that guy that worked for him. I bring this up multiple times in this show over the years. I can never remember any of the details, but basically the idea was that like. We're fucking lying to you, but we're going to let you know we're making fake political parties, and we're going to let you know we're doing it, so you just never know what's going on. And that's basically me as Rush Kump. Is the point. Is that I'm just the guy, like, oh, I'm Emmanuel Goldstein from 1984. Is that too smart a reference or too dumb of a reference? We don't know. That's this day and age. Am I smart or dumb? 1984 doesn't really feel like a smart reference anymore, ever. When I was in 8th grade and I read it, it did. It's
smart if you do. I mean, I feel like that was a smart reference because you went into some kind of detail about it, showing that you actually read it.
Oh, sure.
I mean, there's very dumb people who reference 1984 all the time, and they just go like, "This is like 1984."
You should have to. It's not good. Like, if it was Proust, that would be good because Proust is,
No, yeah, there are some people who you can name drop, and it just automatically sounds smart.
This is like Remembrance of Things Past by Marcel Proust.
Yeah.
Huh? Wait, what do I get? Who's going to suck my dick now? You, baby. I'm a reference boy. Marcel Proust, right into your mouth. Rush Kump. What's the next topic?
Well, speaking of women who Rush Limbaugh might think are whores.
Yeah.
We watched this documentary.
Oh, so last week we talked about this. I'm sorry, did I undercut? Am I hurting women by undercutting the woman next to me?
No,
Every time I ask you for a transition?
I'm just trying to set you up. I just don't want to,
I just need to get into a fucking frenzy every time. And this is how I do it.
I'm just trying to.
I just need to get my...
I'm just trying to help.
You're doing great.
Okay.
This is why I need you, though. This is... So I don't spend 6 hours talking about, Mission Impossible, a TV show, and then go, oh, yeah, Britney Spears. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, but don't pin that on me because that sounds good. I kind of want to hear about Mission Impossible, the TV show.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be because
I don't want to be the thing preventing that.
What am I going to say? I watched some of it on CBS. For some reason, I have CBS, the app, or whatever. Yeah. I don't know why, because I think you wanted to watch Star Trek or some shit. Which I watched Star Trek as a kid. I liked it. I mean, I'm not proud of it. I don't bring it up or whatever. But like but you only watched Star Trek Discovery. Whatever.
Well, I watched Star Trek Discovery. Yeah.
I'm just saying it's
a recent thing.
It's Star Trek for, as Rush would say, Star Trek for the blue hairs. Remember when science fiction used to have science and be fiction? In the 1950s. Actually, it was the 60s. Oh. Every time you stump Rush Kump, it just goes, oh. It sounds like he's sucking dick. But not because, like, in any kind of homophobic way. Just more like, look, I just made the noise, honestly, and that's what it sounded like. It sounded like it was the guttural sound I make when I'm...
A lot of your noises are inspired by that.
Yeah, but it's not... I mean, I've said it, whatever. It's like, you can't call me I've done it before. Whatever. Yeah. You can't call me homophobic. What were we doing? See, this is you say you want Mission Impossible, but it gets crazy. It gets all over the place. It sounds like a nice idea.
Fair enough.
There's 6 people who message me going like, why isn't the show less focused like it was? And like everyone else is like, oh, this makes sense now. We might listen to it more often. Thanks, Kump.
So we saw this documentary about Britney Spears, the treatment of Britney Spears.
We watched the documentary. I talked about why don't people help this woman. I was basically right. But the point is we watched this stupid Hulu documentary that was made by her captors.
Yeah, it feels like it was made by her captors. It was made by her torturers and tormentors. Yeah. To be like, look, we all did this.
Right. And the problem is that Dad's not letting us get to her.
Yeah. No, there is a part where it's like they spend 45 minutes talking about how terribly the media behaved around her.
Well, how badly they behaved.
People like them.
No, them.
Right?
They were the ones who did it.
In some cases, them specifically. In some cases, they're like the next generation.
Didn't they have the one guy, the guy who was, when the night she freaked out, there was that like heavyset dude who was a fat dude, whatever, who was a fucking, paparazzo.
Right.
And he's like, look, I went over to her and I said, hey, because she was already in a bad state. Mm. And I could tell she was in bad shape. She was just kind of strung out. So I walked over to like, hey, look, I'm just going to put the camera on and ask you a few questions. What?
Yeah, it's great how he sets it up. He's like, no, I could tell she was about to have a mental breakdown, right. Which is why I only said I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Look, I'm just going to rape you for about 48 seconds, all right? Is that fine with you?
Which is why I only followed her for 3.5 miles and said I'm going to ask you like 10 to 15 questions, and then you can go on with your night.
Put a gun in your kid's head for a minute. Look, just for a minute. Come on, Britney. And then her dad took her away.
Right. That becomes the main issue of the documentary, is that her dad, you have this, what do they call it? Conservatorship that her dad claimed over her. And the main issue, everyone who's being interviewed, they're all media people. The main issue everyone has is, and now it's really hard to get an interview. Yeah. Right? It's really hard.
I mean, I feel like without knowing anything, I nailed it. Because it was like, her stupid... Look, I don't buy that they drove her crazy. I don't think they did. I think that she had she was very sexual, by the way.
Sure.
Wait, let me reframe that.
No doubt.
But like that, I was younger than her when that video came out with the schoolgirl shit. And she's like, baby, 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 and I was like, this is great. I think this girl's attractive, and I want to. Yeah, I wasn't able to sex yet, but whatever. I'm saying, like, I wasn't being a creep. I'm not some pervert. I'm not like an O&A guy going, I'm not like, hey, let's have a countdown to when we can bang this underage girl. No, that's not what this was. I was a little boy. And,
you're just a little boy.
Yeah, I'm just a little boy, and I'm watching this, older woman, Britney Spears, just, dressing. I mean, but it's all very sexual. And she's acting like, people are acting like, she's just fucking representing herself. Well, she's just greasing the fucking palm, the pole here.
Well, that was another weird thing about it, was that all of these fucking people who are all vultures, you can tell they're all vultures. And, like, they're trying to make this case, like, and by the way, people who think she was being used as a puppet, she had complete control over. It's like, then what is the point of this, right?
I mean,
it's
look,
like if she wasn't on some level a 15-year-old girl being exploited sexually, then what are we talking about?
Look,
here?
she was 15. We said to her, "We don't like to fuck you. Can we? We'll give you some money. Can we fuck you?" And you know what she said? She said, "All right." She was empowered. Empowered by the whole situation.
Right.
I mean, look, I'm not trying to be a prude here, but it's just like, I'm also saying, like, you know, on some level she knew what she was doing, but she didn't. She's a child. Look, I'm just saying, let's not celebrate the fucking weird hypersexualization. Maybe she was pushed into it. Maybe she just realized that's what was going to sell. Either way, that's not an ideal world. I'm not saying we're going to ever live in an ideal world, but like, let's not just, it was so great. She was just showing up cooler than everyone, and she loved it, and we loved it, and then her dad ruined it.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't be like, this is a toxic industry that fucking chews people up and spits them out and destroys young girls in particular.
Yeah.
And be like, and it's all totally authentic.
Right.
Like,
it's like, just female empowerment. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Look at her cooler. Ugh. Remember when girls used to be empowered in the 1950s, showing their cooler off? Just saying. So I don't know. But then now the whole crew is getting the treatment. Every girl who was ever on TV is now a victim of
now it's a re-examination
Navy
of
sex
everything. Crimes. You know, people are looking back at Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, all these people.
Look, I mean, the answer to this is don't give, young stars any money. I mean, don't let them get out of, I don't know, poverty account, is accurate for all of them. I mean, I think Britney Spears is kind of living in a quote-unquote podunk town. I don't know. I mean, I support the working class, but, some people like to call it a podunk town, where she came from. But, like, Lindsay Lohan, like, weren't her parents, like, great, living in Great Neck or some shit?
Maybe. I don't know where Lindsay Lohan came
in Long
from.
Island. They're Long Island trash bags.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But Nassau County, not even Suffolk County. I'm from Suffolk County. She's from Nassau County. I'm just saying, she has substance abuse. A lot of people have substance abuse. A lot of people in Long Island have substance abuse. They don't get a lot, they don't get a lot of money. David Letterman was mean to her when she was, the rehab stuff. I'm not saying he should have said that stuff, but it's also like, you could also get that treatment at the You Need to Rest in my local town where I grew up, at some bar. You go,
right.
Why weren't you in rehab, whore? And then it's not David Letterman, and no one... I don't know. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I mean, like with Paris Hilton in particular, it feels like she's like she's very
an heiress.
Famous. She's a very famous person.
She's an heiress,
and it's like she's very rich.
She was already famous. What is it? The sex tape they're talking about? What are we complaining about? She made a sex tape. Now,
I think it was just like the general kind of like ease with which people were. I don't know. Degrading of her or something, but
she and her sister were famous for like going to parties and being like drunk rich slobs.
Well, that's the thing, is like they kind of made it an industry. Like they made it a whole like cottage industry. Like, watch us go out and party, and then comment on it.
This is just a rebranding. This is just when Rush goes to the 1970s and goes, "Oh, now we were drunk whores. Now we're drunk victims. We're still drunk, but we're victims."
Right.
This is just them repackaging their narcissism and their lack of talent and the lack of anything to contribute except for whatever the inverse of voyeurism is.
Right.
And going like, yeah, we're victim. Look, I've advocated every single victim that's ever lived except until now. I'm not gonna like. Look, if Paris Hilton said she got raped, I mean, yeah, like no one's gonna say don't. I'm not saying rape Paris Hilton. I'm saying, of course, I'm not saying.
Yeah,
that.
why would you say that?
I would never say that. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it'd be okay. I mean, we're talking about is like is this really what we're gonna talk about now?
It's different things. It's just not the same thing, and it's weird because on some level, I feel like this is people trying to make sense of the fact that it's like we become a very dumb, hellish culture overall, and that tends to like.
That's a great point. It's like this is the hangover from like being like, are you going to take part in just the fucking the feast of Dionysus or whatever? the fucking, the Temple of Morlock or whatever the fuck. And that was like, oh, that was a rough one. I really shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't have helped sacrifice that virgin.
When I was eating that baby's intestines, I was like, I saw myself in the mirror and I was like, what have I become?
Who am I? Yeah.
I used to have dreams.
I mean, yeah, no. So I don't understand. I don't know.
But people are still too in it. It was like that was like a weird documentary. That was a really weird documentary to watch for that reason. Is because it's like it's people trying to make sense of something that is real and is ugly, but they're still very much in it. Like
here, you're making a lot of money, and you know what? How I don't feel any guilt because I never took part in it. I never watched it. Never enjoyed it. I don't read the tabloids. I don't, voyeur. I'm not a voyeur boy. Okay, you just bypass it, and then you don't feel someone got paid a bunch of money, and then I don't like. Who cares? I mean, Britney Spears woman. She kind of had a meltdown. She went a little crazy.
Yeah.
Don't tell me she didn't go a little crazy. She went a little crazy. People go crazy. Is it right? I mean, no. You're all scumbags. You're all lunatics. I don't know. She still seems like she's wounded by it mentally, honestly. I advocate for like whatever. People get, people lose their money. Let her lose their money if she wants to. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, I totally. This whole like we're all complicit thing, like unequivocally, fuck that.
Yeah.
I would if I was on the toilet and I saw an Us Weekly magazine across, like on the fucking thing behind me, I wouldn't reach for it. Like I don't like.
Our toilet?
Yeah. If I was in like a waiting room toilet.
Wait, is that something you see a lot? You go in the toilets and you see Us Weekly?
I don't know. Sometimes people
Who gives you magazines in the toilet?
Sometimes a hand just reaches in, and after it's done putting the camera where they want it, they'll hand you a magazine.
Interesting.
So, if that hand that I never know who it is.
Look, if I'm in the toilet taking a bloody shit, and someone tries to hand me a copy of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, fuck that. I ain't reaching for it. You can read it to me if you want, but I'm not reaching for it.
Maybe I should be the new Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah. Go. Canterbury Tales, go.
The Canterbury Tales. There's a woman in there. There's a young woman in there who's cheating on her old husband with another guy, and a guy sticks a hot iron up his ass.
Is that true?
That is kind
Remember
of
when you're cheating your husband, you get a hot iron in the ass back in the 1950s? What happened to that? That's how you dealt with adultery. What happened to that?
The point is, I would never read an Us Weekly magazine or whatever the fuck these magazines are.
No, yeah. I mean, it's something to read while your baby's dying or something. I don't know.
It's like, and even if I did, it still wouldn't be like complicit in the way these people are talking about. Like, it's like I'm not going through these people's garbage cans.
I mean, why did Britney lose her mind because of external factors?
Maybe on some level.
Because of the Timberlake boys?
Well, maybe not because of the Timberlake
They made it seem like the Timberlake boy, like, gaslighter.
I think it's more like the media pathologizing a teenage girl's breakup.
Why did she break up with him?
I don't know. They're teenagers. They're hot.
Yeah, I'm saying. Like, this guy's he's got everything going on. He's part of 98 Boys, and he's fucking right.
But you're both hot. You want to fuck other people.
Yeah, but he's got his crew in 98 Boys who's gonna come after you.
98 Boys.
What was he in? 98.
In Sync.
Oh,
which you have somehow.
Well, no, it's 98 Degrees.
Misremembered as being 98 Boys.
It was 98 Degrees. Whatever. Who's in that one? Nick Lachey? The Lachey Boys?
The Lachey Boys.
Whatever. Why didn't you start fucking the Lachey Boys?
Who are the Lachey Boys?
Nick Lachey was the guy who used to date Jessica Simpson, and he was in 98 Boys. See, I mean, like this is what you want. You want me to all of a sudden be a part of the culture? After 38 years, shove me into the culture now. I'm just trying to figure out who the 98 Boys are.
With 98 Boys, it might work. I mean, okay, you mean 98 Degrees?
Okay,
all right. That is a band. That was a boy band, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that you could call up, however inaccurately you called it up. I'm surprised you could call that up because I didn't remember.
Yeah, both are really good at Jeopardy. What's your point? I listened to like, I used to listen to audiobooks of Tacitus reading the history of Rome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have good recall. Doesn't mean I care about 98 Boys.
Did Tacitus cover 98 Degrees?
He covered Tiberius fucking babies.
It's kind of the same thing.
I think they made it up. Tacitus was for those of you who haven't read him, was a contemporary Roman historian from the, I don't know, like 40 AD or some shit. And apparently Tiberius, they say, that he probably was disenfranchised, his family was, by Tiberius. So when he's talking about Tiberius just fucking mouth-fucking infants, that might have been an overstatement. But he literally does talk about that. And if you watch Caligula, the movie with Alex McDowell or whatever from Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah.
That's like based on, it has to come from Tacitus. So he just went with it. He's like, he didn't read that blurb about how maybe take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
Let's put this in a porn. Is it a porn movie? I forget. I don't know if I ever watched the whole thing, Caligula.
I don't think I've seen the whole thing either. I've seen the scene where they're mowing over the heads.
Remember when the Roman emperors used to fuck little babies in the mouths back in the 1950s?
1950s.
So I don't know. I don't know why she broke up with the guy. I don't know why you don't just give her her money and let her like lose it in Vegas or whatever. I don't care. I just don't care. I can't care. But yeah, you shouldn't be able to put someone into a conservative, especially because it helps them. Especially if it helps them, you shouldn't be able to do it. Why is she all of a sudden she gets to keep her money? I lost $250 on AMC stock.
So when you're on this, when somebody becomes your conservator,
Why did my daddy put me in a conservatorship?
Does
I
that
lose
mean
that money?
When like an adult person becomes part of a conservatorship, does that mean that like you're kind of a baby again?
Maybe. Maybe. What are you getting? What are you thinking? You got an angle? We get fed. We get my dad to make me a conservator, and then he just suckles me on his tits. And
then he has to make you eggs.
He has to make me eggs. Role reversal. And they still burn his house down. Like a beautiful boy. I'm sorry, Daddy. I didn't know. I burned your house down. Maybe you should have fucking listened last time. And then, I don't know. I guess you're a baby. Are you saying it means he can fuck her?
I can see the appeal.
Of being a baby?
I've
never understood that. I've never understood these people who want to go back in time. My childhood wasn't that bad, but I just don't care. Remember being a child? I didn't have a radio flyer childhood. Well, no, that guy got beaten. Whatever. What's a famous childhood? Tom Sawyer?
Leave It to Beaver?
Yeah, that seems so boring. I wish I could grow up in the road when my dad's trying to teach me to shoot myself in the head. If I don't come back in 5 minutes, put this gun in your mouth, you pull the trigger. Very bad things happening outside. That seems fun. But I have no... Remember in the 1950s when no one would make you shoot yourself in the head? I don't like that. I like the current post-apocalypse. I don't know. What's so great about being a little baby, a little kid? This idea that
not being a little kid. Being a little kid sucks.
I have no sense of wonder.
Because
you have to know that about me. I don't have a sense of wonder. I'm a cynical mind, and I view the world in a very analytical way, and I'm also fat. Just fucking shoveling food in my mouth while I'm just passionately viewing the world.
I just think being a baby is kind of like it's a little bit like being dead, but it's cozier. Like it's like being a little kid. That's stressful.
That's exactly. You sound exactly like every progressive, every Marxist, every Keynesian economist. When you get down to it, it's like it's all death cult. It's all hey, in the long run we'll all be dead. And that's what you're about. And you're like, what's so great about being a baby? Well, it's like being dead, but cozier. It's like, I don't want to be dead. I'm a red-blooded American. I have sex and eat meat. All right, and I'm not like a lunatic like Rush Limbaugh, but I embrace life to the extent that like I'm alive.
You never want to just get you never want to have the feeling of getting swaddled.
Swaddled? No, look, I don't go for gender types here. But I can't say I'm a man. Men can get swaddled. I don't know what that is. Maybe you want to get rid of gender and call it something else. I'm a slob. I'm a slob who can't be swaddled. Whatever it is that doesn't like being swaddled, that's me. No, I need to move my arms around. You ever see me talk? I move my arms all the time.
That's true.
Can't be swaddled. Who is this? Who needs to be taken care of like this much? Britney Spears? Enough with it. Just fucking deal with it.
It's all, it's all relative. Just imagine a giant man, like somebody like 3 times your size, and they're just taking a giant blanket and they're just wrapping you up in it really tight.
Imagine how bad his underwear smells because he's so big. That's what I'm thinking. It's just he's just got a little bit of a streak in his underwear and it smells like the fucking, the sewer of New York City. The Gotham, the sewer of the Big Apple. Big Apple sewer, right in your ass, right in your mouth. And it's just like wafting, like the East River, right in your face. And, I'm swallowed, being comforted by this giant shit monster. Every giant's a shit monster. Next. I guess we should talk about Texas.
Yeah.
I have nothing to offer them. I wish I could give you heat. I wish I could give you the warmth of my body. It seems fucked up, right? I'm not blaming Texas. It seems screwed.
I don't see how one could logically. It's weather event.
Well, no, but some people. Well, there's the thing. Some people are saying that like they're deregulative.
Oh yeah, the government, sure, for not preparing.
But the people. Well, I think the people, a lot of them, embrace that kind of spirit of deregulation on some level. Right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I don't know much about Texas.
You also have liberal. I mean, I think Austin's kind of a liberal enclave.
Well, no one told you to make a liberal enclave in Texas. what are you doing? I mean, like that. I can't get on board with that. There's liberals in Austin. Well, you knew what you were building. Come on.
And sometimes, look, people are born where they're born, and then it's like you have a bunch of people around you who don't want to regulate anything.
Why don't you make a Christian enclave in the middle of fucking Tehran? I mean, it's not what they're doing there. It's not shit on either side. It's like that's not what this is here. It's like we want to make an enclave. Well, we're all about dying in the cold. Well, we're not about that. Maybe why'd you come here?
Right.
I'm just saying. No, but look, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm just saying. I don't even know if it's unreasonable. It never snows. We gotta make pipes that don't burst. Can't we just like? Those things when you ski. I've skied once in my life, and I crashed into a woman, and they put a circle on my tag, and said, if you crash into another woman, you're done. So I'm not a skiing boy. I want to preface that. I'm not a boy who skis. But you don't have to ski. But they give you those little packets. You can buy them, and you crush them, and they're warm. What am I thinking of? Warm crush packs.
And so you're suggesting those?
We dropped those from airplanes.
Okay, that might not be the most...
We drop fire. Why can't we napalm fields? There's oil fields in Texas. Why can't we light them on fire?
Yeah, sure.
I don't mean that in like a coy way. Like, just drop some napalm. I mean, like, why can't we find a balance here? I mean, Malibu's always on fire. Texas is cold. Let's figure this out. Can we get some of that fire, bring it over here? I don't know.
It might create... new problems.
Yeah, well, there's always new problems.
The week
of the I didn't say carpet. I said napalm. Yeah. Carpet bombing is something very different. I didn't even say firebomb, but selective firebomb. I don't know. You can't bomb a fucking. There's like an old Alamo tourist attraction, and you go, look, we're gonna give you a top dollar for this. We're the government of Texas. We're gonna give you top dollar, and then we're gonna firebomb your factory. And then there's fire. And people can gather around the fire. I don't know. I mean, look,
sure.
You get me in a room with a bunch of scientists. And I'm just there jogging their heads. I'm just going, look, try this. What's the version of this that works? And they go, nothing. Nothing like that will ever work. And I go, no. What's the version? Don't be a fucking stick in the mud here. Help me out here. What are you, a biochemist? Maybe we get some different chemicals. We douse the state in different chemicals. Like those the lights, glow sticks. Glow sticks are chemicals. You crush them and those chemicals mix. Maybe that's warm. Why don't we just drop those chemicals on? I don't know. And then they go, oh, it's poisonous. A baby drinks a little of it. All right, so we're losing babies already. We lose a couple of babies, we're breaking even. Other people maybe get warm. They go, well, it's not actually warm, it just glows. But the glowing It could help them psychologically, right?
It'll win hearts and minds.
Yeah. We're not here trying to save everyone. We're trying to fucking get this going. Look, I work for Joe Biden, and Joe Biden wants to look good. You know? Did I help?
Yeah, I think you solved it.
I mean, I don't want to say solved, but I put us in the right direction.
In 2 minutes flat.
I'm like a compass. The compass. I didn't even say compass before I figured out the what do you call that? Mashup?
Yeah.
Just call me the
pun.
Compass. Compass. I mean, I want to. That's not going to be the name of the episode, but I know what the name of the episode is going to be already.
Yeah.
But I feel like Compass would be a close second. Compass.com.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it was a fun episode.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thanks everyone for joining us.
I think we helped a lot of people.
Remember, the non-shadow ban is over. So you can turn the song on. We'll ramp out.
Yeah.
We'll turn it down a little bit. Ease out. The point is, I don't think it's gonna work. It's fine. This song will play out. We'll do it again in a minute.
Okay.
It's fine, but thanks so much. I can't hit the post. I'm too so much pressure.
Look, thank you so much. You should check out the Patreon.
Turn it down. We're gonna do it again in a second.
Okay.
I forgot. I used to do it that way. What is this? Those are generic sounds it comes with. Are those even copyrighted?
You're very okay.
Where can people follow you?
You can on Twitter and Instagram at the Steinbag.
THE Steinbag. Mm-hmm. And you can follow me. You know where to follow me. And the links are in the bottom. Go on Patreon if you want. Help Texas if you can. Britney Spears. What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
Enjoy yourselves. I'll see you all next week. Turn up.